Hi everyone, Yasas que kalosirtate to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make one of my all-time favorite Greek cookies, Kourabiedes. These are traditionally made around Christmas time, but in my house they're made all year round because I absolutely love them. They melt in your mouth, and I just tweaked my recipe, my original recipe, a little bit. And also, instead of doing the traditional hand-rolled shape, I'm using Festive cookie cutters to cut these out. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin by making the cookie dough, and I'm using my tabletop mixer just because it makes life so easy. I have the paddle attachment on, and in the mixing bowl I'll add 1 pound or 455 grams of unsalted butter. You want to make sure it's soft and at room temperature. 1 cup or 135 grams of confectioner sugar, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of orange blossom water. We're going to start this at low speed so we don't end up wearing it. And once the sugar has been incorporated, increase the speed to high and let this beat for 3 to 5 minutes or until the butter mixture is nice and fluffy. You want to get a lot of air in there so that way the kourabiedes will melt in your mouth. Next, in this big mixing bowl over here, I have 4.5 cups or 625 grams of all-purpose flour. There's a teaspoon of baking soda in there and 3 teaspoons of baking powder. We're just going to whisk this all together so it's incorporated evenly. And then once the butter mixture is ready, I have 2 egg yolks that I'll just add in there. Just beat it on high speed so that way they're incorporated. They get incorporated in the dough really well. And then I'm going to reduce the speed to a low, and I'm going to slowly add the flour mixture in here. Once all of the flour goes in, I have 1 cup, a heaping cup, or 170 grams of almonds. I toasted these almonds in the oven for a few minutes, and then I just pulsed them in the food processor until they were finely chopped. In they go. Once they're incorporated, the cookie batter is ready. So I'm going to lightly flour my counter, and I'll add the dough to the counter and roll it out to a little bit less than a 1/2 inch in thickness. You don't want these to be too thick, but you don't want them too thin either because you want them to have a little bit of bite to them. Now you can use your favorite cookie cutters just to cut out cookies. Place the cookies on a tray that's lined with parchment paper. You're going to need 3 trays for this. This makes a good amount of cookies. Once you're done cutting out the first batch, all the dough that's left over can be gathered together again and pressed together and rolled out again until you can't make any more cookies. I had a little bit of cookie dough left, so I just made 2 little round kourabiedes at the end because they weren't big enough to cut out into shapes. The oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. These are going to bake for about 25 minutes. If you're baking 2 or 3 trays together, just halfway through baking time, make sure that you switch the trays around so that way the middle tray goes on top and the top goes in the middle. As soon as they come out of the oven, I have some orange blossom water in this little bowl over here. If you have a spray bottle, it'll be even better. While they're nice and hot, just brush them with a generous amount of the orange blossom water. Just don't soak them. You just want to get enough on there that it flavors them but doesn't make them soggy. And since they're going to be hot, it's just going to absorb it and then they'll dry up. Next, we're just going to top the cookies with a very generous layer of confectioner sugar. And as soon as they cool down to room temperature, they're going to be ready to serve. And there you have it, kourabiedes that are not only festive and beautiful, they're also delicious. They melt in your mouth. You can make these all year round. Let's do the taste test. I'm definitely going to eat more than one of these, but I have to break off a piece just so my black dress doesn't get full of crumbs and powdered sugar. Oh my goodness. These are the best. They're perfectly toasted, yet they crumble once they go in your mouth. You get the flavor from the almonds. That orange blossom water is nice and floral and fresh and goes with the almond flavor. Perfectly sweet, not too sweet because there's not that much sugar in the cookie batter, but there's that little kiss of powdered sugar on top. These are absolutely delicious. If you can't find orange blossom water, you can substitute rose water, but if you don't like either of the 2 flavors because they are very floral, you can leave them out and leave the vanilla extract in there and just add 2 teaspoons of pure almond extract to this and you'll get more of an almond flavored kourabiedes. These are just so good. These are perfect with a hot cup of coffee for the adults, or you could serve these to the kids with a big cold glass or hot cup of milk. I hope you guys give these a try. Let me know what shapes you're making them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you want to print this recipe out, it's on the website with all the other recipes that I share with you. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yasas.